Hi everyone, it's Sunday, March 12th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. Actually, greetings from Dubai on the eve of APLF, which starts tomorrow. We're going to be reporting from the fair all 3 days this week, so keep your eye on the HideNet YouTube channel for updates. Now, starting with the US market, it was again a fairly slow week. Sellers started out still pushing for steady or better prices, but buyers still don't have an appetite for higher prices. By the end of the week, steady levels were more challenging to get. Looking at heavy Texas steers, prices were within the range of last week, but actually $1 off the previous high. Selections averaging 66 pounds sold for $26, and volumes did not appear to be large. In the cow sector, interest in Holsteins has cooled, and those who are looking to buy want to do so for less. So those prices are actually softer. With regard to combined export sales for the week ending March 2nd, they were rather disappointing at 436,000, which is back down again by 17% from the previous week. Combined shipments were also pretty poor at 488,700, and that's a 28% drop from last week. Estimated slaughter for the week ending March 11th was 634,000, which is incrementally higher than last week. Now, turning to Europe, editor Andrea Guolo says that slaughter is up and suppliers are fighting the market trend, which is downward. Most importantly, tanners aren't placing orders because they simply don't need more hides. In the UK and Ireland, prices are the same because there were no new negotiations and the supply for March is already sold. British ox is at 85 cents per kilo in sterling, and in Ireland the price is also steady at 93 to 98 cents per kilo in euros. For European bulls, it's actually hard to identify a trend because so little was done during the week. But indeed, the small volume of business that was done was at softer prices. Northern German bulls topped out at €1.15 for the 40 plus kilo selections, and the southern hides were also down about 5 cents. With regard to European cows, prices are stable, but some origins are seeing prices start to trend lower. The veal skin market remains the exception, with prices rising again. In his analysis, Andrea runs down what's happening with prices, the gaps between the low end and the high end, as well as the prospects for the market in the next few weeks. From South America, editor Ronald Guial reports that raw material prices were essentially steady and lost just 1 cent this week, so fresh hides are selling at an average of $1.36 per kilo. TR1 is unchanged at 70 cents per square foot. Other Latin origins again managed to remain stable. In other news from Brazil, footwear exports in the first 2 months of the year, they were down by almost 3% in volume, but they were up by a little over 5% in revenue compared to the same period last year. The data from Abbott Calçados shows that looking at just February, exports were 12.14 million pairs for over $101 million, and those are declines both in volume and in revenue compared to February 2021. Now that's the date that's in the report, but we suspect they might mean last year actually. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's footwear union floated a proposal to boost the domestic sector. Honduras leads the region in spending on clothing and footwear. Colombia's footwear sector grew in January as other sectors contracted, and in Mexico, Zapica hosted over 2,200 buyers in its first 2 days. That is all we have for today, and like we said, keep an eye on the HideNet YouTube this week for updates from APLF. Otherwise, we will also see you next week. For now, good night from HideNet.